In human evolution, reproductive success has never been determined by biology alone. It has been profoundly shaped by access, males' access to females and females' access to resources. This asymmetry reflects a universal principle of sexual selection. Because males and females differ in reproductive investment, they evolve distinct strategies to maximize reproductive fitness. These strategies have driven the emergence of complex human social structures built around cooperation, competition, and exchange. Females invest far more energy per reproductive event. Pregnancy, childbirth, and infant care demand months or years of sustained biological and nutritional support. Consequently, the limiting factor for female reproductive success is not access to males but access to reliable resources, food, protection, and social stability that ensure offspring survival. In contrast, males expend minimal biological energy per mating. Their reproductive potential depends primarily on the number of fertile females they can attract or secure access to. This divergence, high female investment versus low male investment, creates an evolutionary marketplace in which resources and reproductive opportunities are exchanged. Anthropological studies of hunter-gatherer and early agrarian societies illustrate this principle vividly. Skilled hunters, warriors, or providers often gained social prestige and, in turn, greater mating opportunities. Female mate choice tended to favor males with the ability and willingness to provide resources, protection, or status advantages, traits that signaled long-term reproductive reliability. These preferences are not arbitrary. They reflect adaptive strategies that increase the survival rate of both mothers and offspring in uncertain environments. Over time, these reproductive logics scaled into cultural systems. Marriage, inheritance, and kinship structures institutionalized the exchange of resources for reproductive access. Male competition for status and wealth, whether through hunting success, land ownership, or professional achievement, can be understood as an extension of ancestral pressures to signal provisioning capacity. Likewise, female selectivity and alliance formation often align with maximizing security and resource flow across generations. Even in modern contexts where economic and reproductive independence have expanded, traces of this evolutionary logic persist. Studies in evolutionary psychology and behavioral economics continue to show that resource availability, social status, and perceived stability influence attraction and mating choices across cultures. Ultimately, the human reproductive system operates as both a biological and economic network. Males and females pursue reproductive success through different but complementary forms of access, one to partners, the other to resources. This interplay, rooted in evolutionary asymmetry, remains one of the most powerful forces shaping human behavior, cooperation, and the structure of societies. In recent decades, the figure of the single male traveler has become a visible and complex feature of global mobility. Historically, travel was restricted to elites, merchants, or explorers whose journeys were tied to necessity or conquest. Today, with inexpensive air travel, digital nomadism, and remote work, mobility has become accessible to a broader segment of men seeking autonomy and reinvention. In many cases, travel functions as a form of identity construction, an attempt to achieve freedom from social expectations, work stress, or stagnant dating markets in their home societies. For these men, movement across borders represents both literal and symbolic escape from constraints of class, career, or emotional isolation. Sociologically, single male traveler culture also reflects global inequality and the uneven geography of opportunity. Wealth, education, and technological access enable men from economically developed nations to move fluidly through regions where local populations face more limited mobility. This imbalance creates distinct social dynamics. The traveler's financial and social capital translate into elevated status abroad, influencing patterns of friendship, hospitality, and sometimes romantic or sexual relationships. While not inherently exploitative, these interactions often reproduce asymmetries of power that mirror larger global hierarchies. From an anthropological standpoint, modern male travel is thus not merely recreational. It is a form of adaptive behavior within a changing world. As traditional markers of masculine success, stable careers, domestic authority, and fixed community roles decline in relevance, travel offers an alternative route to status and self-definition. The figure of the single male traveler embodies both the possibilities and contradictions of globalization: mobility without roots, freedom intertwined with inequality, and connection shaped by distance.